Hi guys, Pete here from Ashton's Cars. Today I am showing you around this 2013 Volvo. This is the V40 model. Let's just show you around the back of it a minute, give you the full scale of the car. There's sort of a, I never know whether to describe these as a hatchback or an estate. I guess it's a hatch, but it has got quite a large boot on it. Good looking car. The back of it sort of harks back to Volvos from the past. Twin exhaust pipes. This is, for me, one of the best value sort of cars in its class. It's also one of the cheapest to run because this is the D2 model, and these diesel engined V40s with this engine have free road tax here in the UK, so it's very, very cheap to run indeed. It does around 60 plus to the gallon. And it's got room for a family of 5 and a massive boot on it. As I say, it is a little bit sort of estate looking in its shape, but I guess you could compare it size wise really with something like a Ford Focus. It's just starting to pee down with rain here now, unfortunately, but let me very quickly show you the boot before it gets too bad, and we'll have a look at the interior together. So the boot on it, it's huge. It's got a proper spare wheel in it as well, which is quite unusual. Obviously space saver, but nevertheless much better than a can of get you home stuff. This particular one finished in a nice metallic blue, which is certainly not being shown off to its best at the moment in this rain, but as you can see, good looking wheels on it as well. I love the design of those. It's what you would call sort of a sort of diamond cut style two-tone alloy wheel. Little bit of scuffing on them. This car's done over 130,000 miles, so you know you're going to expect a little bit of scuffing on the alloy wheels on it. I like the fact that it's got this satin sort of silver finish on the wing mirror trim here. Nice chrome surrounds as well. All that on a dark car, on a dark metallic like this, do show it off fantastically well, I think. I'm absolutely getting soaked. So I'm going to jump inside it quickly, show you the interior. So here we are, guys, in behind the wheel of the V40. As you can see, very nice interior on this particular car. It's an R design model, and that means it gets half leather and Alcantara trim. It's one of the top of the range models, this one is. You see the back there, very similar. I'll show you into the back in a minute. It's got a nice armrest that pulls down and cup holders in the rear. I love the design on the dash, what they've done here. They've got sort of a polished aluminium finish on the one side and black on the other. The sort of varying textures of these materials in this Volvo do really sort of, they're very appealing. You know, it's very aesthetically pleasing, this car is. It's got a really classy feel. I mean, it's not your average sort of mid-range hatchback. It feels very solid, typically you know, of this brand. I like a couple of the features on the instruments as well. I like what they've done here with the speedo. As you can see, the 20's lit up slightly more than the others at the moment. As the needle creeps up, the 40, the 60, the 80 will light up as well accordingly. If you look down to the bottom left on my instruments, the average miles per gallon this car's done since this computer was reset, God knows when, is 59.1 miles per gallon. That's fantastic, because I know that includes a lot of urban driving as well. I've got a little rev counter on the far right there, which if I blip the throttle you can see it's quite a cool little design, a little bit unusual. Typically Volvo, there's lots of quirky things on here. And I've also got a speed limiter function on this steering wheel as well, which very, very handy at the moment with all the speed traps that you've got on the motorways. It's got nice features in that the mirrors, they power fold when the car locks up. I'll show you that in just a second. I mean, we'll go back outside and have a look around it properly now, because the rain's dying off a tiny bit, and I can hopefully show you a little bit better than I did just now some of the exterior features of the car. But very, very nice place to be sat behind the wheel here. There's plenty of space. I feel very comfortable. I've got good visibility out as well. In fact, I'll just give the wipers a quick sweep to show you. And all in all, it's just a very, very nice design, very well built car from a manufacturer who has a good reputation for building very well designed, well built cars, so can't go wrong with that. Let's just turn that off a second. I'll just show you the startup sequence quickly as well, just to show you that. when you start up, you get the sort of the little flash up of the where the seat belts are and stuff like that. There's various modes that I can go into on here as well. It's got various different computer settings and bits and bobs on it that I can bring up. Different it's got different themes, color modes. I can change color of different things on the dials, I believe, although I've not quite worked it all out myself yet. It's got a hell of a lot of extras on it, this particular one has. Eclipse Eco Performance mode, so if the dials change when you do each one in performance mode. Now I've also, all of a sudden, I've got a digital speedo, I've got the sort of red dials, and I've got a proper rev counter in the middle. So it's quite cool. These dials obviously are just a computer screen in actual fact, and you know, I've got a power gauge on the right hand side of the dash now. All of a sudden, you know, obviously whatever you fancy. But if I go back onto Eco, again, that's more or less a conventional one. An elegance mode is what I had it on originally, where you've got that sort of dial that lights up. I quite like the red dials though. I do like a bit of red and black, but yeah. As I say, that's according to taste, and who says I've got taste? Anyway, let's take the key a second. Let's go outside. It's not raining quite as badly. I want to show you a little bit more outside and show you the back of the car as well. So let's just do that. So there we have the rear compartment. It's a 5-seater, but at the moment I've got the armrest down in the middle. I love the design of that armrest and the fact that it's got those cup holders there that come out of the middle seat. It's a very nice place to be, quite a lot of space in the back of it. Considering it's, you know, not a huge car on the outside, it's surprising it's very well packaged in here. And again, everything does feel extremely well put together. So there you see it as a 5-seater. Car comes with obviously electric windows all around. It's got like even little cubby holes here on the seats, which I think are nice big deep door bins on all 4 doors as well. So plenty of oddment space in there, which is important if you're buying a family car. People will want to use space, have drinks, and I think that if you're looking for something family orientated, these are really a good bet. 60 miles per gallon as well. In the real world, that's fantastic. You get loads of manufacturers claiming they can do this and that, but to see a car come in here with nearly 60 miles per gallon on it is quite a rare thing, even with super minis. And this is quite a decent sized car. Hopefully you can, you know, see the appeal of that bodywork a little bit better. Now, I do think with these are design models with the wheels and the sort of aluminium bits on them, they really are quite a sporty looking vehicle. If I lock the car up, the mirrors fold in like so. Obviously, if I unlock it, they come back out again. But yeah, a very, very nice looking car. Lots of visual appeal. It's done 130,000 miles. It's actually got some interesting ownership on it, which I can't go into too much because we've got the regulations tell us that we're not allowed to tell you about previous owners and who they were. But the previous owner of this car was and is a famous musician. So it's actually been, it's got some interesting ownership credentials about it as well, this particular car has. That's why it's got such a, you know, a high spec. I can tell you now that the person who owned this car previously, money would not have been an object for them. I've no idea whether this was their daily driver or not. I have a feeling they might well have been using this car for their commute back and forth to London when they were recording, simply because this car is such low emissions. It's a lot more friendly to the environment, and also you don't pay as much sort of congestion charges and stuff in a low emission car like this. So yeah, it's got some interesting details and some even more interesting ownership credentials this particular one has. Anyway, if this is of interest to you guys, please give me a call. My number is 07932 873 646. And of course, you can email us as well, findacarforyou@gmail.com. And at the very least, please make sure you subscribe to our channel. You'll get more updates like this, and also more motoring advice. Please as well, feel free to like, feel free to share, feel free to comment below. Let us know anything that you would like to see. Have you perhaps owned one of these cars? How was your ownership experience of the Volvo V40? Have to be honest, working in the trade as long as I have, I've always had good experiences personally with these cars, but I've never run one as a daily. So let us know if you have. Let us know how you found it. And of course, one more time with my number, 07932 873 646. By far the best way of getting hold of us if you have an inquiry on this car, or if you want to know anything about part exchanging your old car, our national delivery service, or indeed anything else that we do here at Ashton's Cars. I hope to speak to you very soon. Thanks very much for watching the video. Apologies that the weather conditions today were not the greatest for us, but I hope it's been helpful, and I hope to see you very soon. Thanks very much for watching. Bye.